Hello students in the Multiversity of Genetics of Divinity. Welcome to session 3 of the webinar series Manifestation Through the Cycle of Creation. The last session was a marathon, wasn't it? It was a 3-hour long event. And for those of you who attended and participated with your questions, thank you so much. It was an amazing session. I enjoyed it. I'm sure you did too. And you know the value that you received from all those demonstrations and explanations that I had provided on the energetic emotional transplantation technique and the multiversal manifestation banking technique. You also learned how to consciously generate specific brainwave frequencies simply through your breathing, and how the amazing effects these brainwaves can have on cleansing the toxins in your body and opening up your DNA so that they can start vibrating in their natural frequencies to engage your capabilities to manifest your qualified desires. You know, I say qualified desires. And from session 1 on this webinar series, you know exactly what I mean by qualified desires, right? They have to abide by the core principles of the genetics of divinity. Okay, so you know what those core principles are at this stage. We concluded the last session as a segue into this session with a definition of your parallel universe. We talked about those 13 relationship categories that collectively make your universe. Okay, so far, although you have been exposed to several components of your adaptive body that are required for manifestation, right? We talked about the DNA, we talked about your central nervous system, we talked about the biophotons. Actually, we're going to talk about the biophotons in this session. We talked about your brain, we talked about brain waves, right? So you know a lot. You know a lot about these components that your adaptive body is equipped with to facilitate the manifestation process. And you've also been being informed about some tools and techniques that are essential for your manifestation effort, right? But there is still one component that we have not addressed so far. And in this session, I'm going to describe what that component is. And when you understand that component, the mechanics, how it works, it'll blow your mind. Just like it blew my mind away when this was revealed to me through my active body or through the reactivation of the genetics of divinity in my subconscious mind. In this session, I'm going to describe the concept of Desirability Index, which, as you know, is a key factor of manifestation. You know, if you ignore Desirability Index, you'll be spinning your wheels trying to manifest your desires in vain through your focused thought and positive thinking. You know, those are ancillary. This Desirability Index is key is a key factor in your manifestation process. Okay, I'm going to describe what that is and what you can do to dynamically change your desirability index. Okay, and as I said, I'm very excited to reveal, probably for the first time in human history, the exact mechanics of operation of a tiny rice grain sized organ in your body that acts as an energy transformer to match your desirability index with that of your manifestation target. Okay, it is you learn about impedance matching, you learn about potential matching. Okay, these are concepts that I was exposed to when I was going through my engineering course, and you'll understand how we can leverage that concept to understand the workings of this rice grain sized organ in your body, and what a pivotal role that can play to manifest the life experience that you desire. You know, when the eternal consciousness of the mechanics of operation of this organ in the human body was reactivated from my subconscious mind, I was speechless and with awe as yet another example of the precision and perfection with which this human body has been designed. And when you learn about it in this session, I'm certain that you will also feel the same. It is a very humbling feeling. Next, I'll be guiding you through a process that makes manifestation repeatable and predictable. And as you can understand, each time you manifest a qualified desire, you enter a true reality, a new true reality in your life experience, which in effect is a different parallel universe. Okay, you've departed from where you were before you manifested your desire, and now that after the manifestation has occurred, you are actually having a different life experience. Hence, it's a different parallel universe. And in this session, you'll learn about how to define these relationships, how to choose the partner in the relationships in all the 12 categories of your life, and enjoy them in your new parallel universe. You know, parallel universes are real. And inside the Multiversity portal, through the coaching videos, I have described how you can prove their existence. So let's just stop debating whether parallel universes exist or not and focus on how you can immigrate to one of them that you define. Okay? As before, I will be using a slide deck to walk you through the webinar. And as you will see, I have set up several animations that would help you understand the concepts as I go through them. And as before, keep typing your questions. I love answering them, and I will answer them presently. Okay? And I think we'll be going for about 2 hours today, if not more. And I'm sure you'll be excited to learn what I will be presenting. Okay? Well, great. Let's get back to our packed agenda that we have today. Okay, in the agenda for session 3, let's see what we have in store for you. First of all, we're going to talk about Desirability Index. You know, we have talked about a lot of manifestation, a lot of components of manifestation that is already embedded in your adaptive body. But we haven't talked about Desirability Index. But if you recall in session 1, while I was talking about the law of attraction, the true and real version of the law of attraction, I mentioned that a Desirability Index is a very key factor. So here's the opportunity in session 3 where I'm going to dive deep into Desirability Index. You'll understand what it is, how is that an important factor in your manifestation process, and more importantly, how you can match your Desirability Index with the Desirability Index of your manifestation target. You know, the law of attraction cannot engage, as you know, unless the law of alignment has been activated. And even if it has been activated, the law of alignment cannot mature into that stage where the law of attraction can kick in unless and until there is a desirability match. Okay, so we're going to discuss in a lot of detail on what Desirability Index is and understand from the energy matrix point of your adaptive body, how does your energy, your net available energy, is a key component to define your Desirability Index. You know, there is a mathematical formula, believe it or not, that defines your Desirability Index. Okay, and we're going to understand the components of that formula and how the energy matrix of your adaptive body helps to define your Desirability Index. And since it's a formula, as you can understand, you change the parameters of the formula and your Desirability Index changes, right? And that's what we're trying to get at, is get at a point where you can consciously change your Desirability Index to match the Desirability Index of your manifestation target. Okay? Now here's something that I'm really excited about talking to you today. And this is the concept of a pyramid. You know, you must have heard about or read about, or you must have even visited the pyramids of Egypt. Okay, now that is just a symbol. But what people don't know, most people think it's a historical monument, you know, and it has historical significance. And you'd go to that, if you visit that or you read about it, and say, wow, how did they put those stones up there? And there are several theories that the Egyptologists have come up with to describe how it was built, why it was built, how come it is still standing the way it is. You know, there are several theories, but there's a key point that is not publicized and that is not promoted for whatever reason that, you know, defies my comprehension. But the pyramidal shape is an amplifier. It is an energy transformer and an energy amplifier. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to explain to you how this pyramid is an amplifier and an energy transformer, and how that relates to your physical body. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how you have within you pyramid transformers. It's not just one. There are more than one pyramid transformers inside your body, and how you can leverage those transformers to magnify or amplify your energy, so that you can direct that energy, that high intensity of focus that we talk about, towards your manifestation target. Okay, so we'll understand the science behind the pyramid transformer, and once we've understood the science, we will go into understanding how that relates to your physical body. Okay, this is really exciting. I got some animation set up for you, and once you understand that animation and my explanation, you'll be able to relate it to what I'm talking about. What component of the human body has these pyramid transformers? Okay? Now, when I was going through my graduation course in engineering, I came across this concept of impedance matching. And if you have a home audio system, a speaker system, a component audio system, you know that unless and until there are the proper speakers that you attach to your amplifier, you will not have good sound output. And so that's the general feeling. But then what the science behind that is, maximum power can be delivered from the source of energy to the load or the target where the energy is going to drive that target. The maximum power is generated only when the source impedance is equal to the load impedance. Now, impedance, it's a sum of the resistance of the circuit plus the inductive reactance. Okay, let's not get into the technicalities in this session. Just consider impedance as a resistance. Okay, so when we talk about a manifestation target, the reason why you're not able to manifest it right away is because your impedance, your resistance, is not the same as the resistance of your manifestation target. And what you need to do is, as you'll go through this session 3, how can you use the transformer that I was talking about, the pyramid transformers in plural, to use that to increase your power, number one. And number two, how you can use that as an impedance matching instrument to match your impedance with the impedance of your manifestation target. It'll blow your mind. When this was revealed to me, when I was going through my reactivation process of eternal consciousness from my subconscious mind, I was amazed. And I'm sure once you understand what I'm talking about, you'll appreciate what is meant by impedance matching. Okay? Now, here's something very important. We talked about desirability index, and I said it's a formula, and we also understand the energy matrix. Okay, so what happens, the reason you are not able to manifest your target is because your net available energy is not powerful enough. That's why we're talking about these transformers, how you can amplify your energy. We'll talk about increasing your desirability index, and so on and so forth. So what happens is, when you're born with 100% adaptive energy. That is a direct inheritance from the active energy of your own active body. Okay, so you've come here from the 5th dimension, from your own very personal active body. Okay, so that active energy transformed into adaptive energy, which is you in this physical form in this 3rd dimension. Okay, now what happens as you grow through the years of your growing up, and now you have used that energy to sustain your life. You have accumulated memories, you've accumulated emotions, you've accumulated toxins that we cleared out in session 2, right? So all of that, in order to store it within your physical body, it requires energy, right? So your adaptive energy is reduced by the energy that is required to store your life. okay, so far. And there's a lot of junk in that, all these toxins, all these, physical, emotional, psychological, or environmental or social toxins. These are attenuating your 100% adaptive energy. So what you will learn in this session is, how do I reclaim that energy back? Okay, of course, one of the ways is, we talked about in session 2, the energy cleansing, right? The shield that we created, the tapping that we did, the brainwave cleansing that we did, right? In session 2, those were to cleanse out those toxins, as a result of which you reclaim your adaptive energy. So we're going to take this another step forward in this session 3, so that you can reclaim your adaptive energy, make more net available energy available to you, and the transformer that I'm talking about is going to get a higher source. It will become a more powerful source, so that you can direct your energy with a larger intensity of focus towards your manifestation target. Okay, now I'm going to introduce to you, and some of you may already be aware of this, if you've read a book called Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and if you go to chapter 22, they talk about an emotional guidance system. Okay, it is like a GPS in a car, and what it is we humans have this emotional guidance system, and there are 22 categories of emotions. Starting from depression, which is the lowest level, number 22, to the highest level, which is joy, excitement, and empowerment. So there are 22 levels. Okay, and it is very important that when you want to manifest, when you desire to manifest a target, you understand, when you think about it, that you want that that manifestation target to be part of your life experience. You understand your position on the emotional guidance system. How are you feeling about it? And as you go through the manifestation process, you would want to check, what is my position now? Has it improved, or is it going down? Right? So I will explain to you this amazing concept that Esther and Jerry Hicks have come up with, and they've written so exclusively in their Ask and It Is Given book, the emotional guidance. I'm going to explain to you how that works and how you can use that towards your manifestation efforts. Okay? And once you understand all these components, you will be required to come up with a strategy. By this time, you'll know all that you have. Okay, all the infrastructure that is already in place for you. Now, how do you use components of that infrastructure? Do you just use your desirability index, increase your desirability, or do you engage your transformer? You may need to engage just one, right? Or you may need to engage both, right? So how do you strategize when you're in the process of manifestation? What strategies will you use to make yourself more eligible to be part of the life experience where you and your manifestation target is one? Okay, so I'm going to explain to you how you make that choice. Okay, the choice may be, I need both, or I need just one of those. Okay, so at this level, when I'm just discussing the agenda, this may seem a little, well, what is Joy talking about? But once you get to those sections, once you complete till this level, everything will be clear. Okay? Now we go into life after manifestation. At this point, once you've understood the desirability index, the role of the pyramid transformer in your life experience, we're going to go up to life after manifestation. It is not just one thing we want or we desire in life. There are many things, and the more the better. As a creature of creation, you have been designed as a creature with the will to receive. So there's nothing wrong in wanting things, right? So what after manifestation? Like, you will be able to manifest that 4 to 5 figure target that we started off this webinar series with, right? If you follow these steps that I've been explaining, okay, you will be manifesting them. That's not the question. But then, what do we do after manifestation? Okay, so if you look at the cycle of creation, okay, we are going to move from reality to confidence to bliss. Okay, so we've come all the way. We started from bliss, came to inspiration, Then we came to thought, we came to intention, we came to attention, action, habits, reality, confidence, and then we're going to merge back into bliss. Okay, so how do you move from reality to confidence and use that to repeat, to make the manifestation project, the manifestation process repeatable? Okay, how do we do that? And in the process, you're going to define your parallel universe. Now, what is a parallel universe? As I was talking about parallel universes in my introduction of this session, let's get over the debate. Parallel universes are real and they exist. Okay, period. Let's settle that, and if you don't want to accept it, that's your choice. But once you go through this session, you would understand why I'm saying that parallel universes are real. As a matter of fact, you were in a different parallel universe before you were watching this video. Okay, and after you watch this video, after gaining the knowledge that you will, after watching this webinar, okay, you will be in a different parallel universe. Why? Because you'll have different cognitions. Your consciousness would have upgraded. Okay, as a result of which you're looking at life differently. New possibilities are opening up. Okay, as a result of which you are no longer the same. You have migrated in a different parallel universe. A different life experience awaits you. Okay, so how do we define a parallel universe? Just because you manifested one, well, that's a component, one of the components of the parallel universe. You never had that before, now you have it. Okay, so you have already come to a new parallel universe, but it's just not one. We want to make it repeatable. So I'm going to explain to you how you define who or what is part of the parallel universe. Why do you want that who or what to be part of your parallel universe? Where do you want them to be geographically located, right? When do you want that manifestation target to show up in your life? Is it now? Is it 6 months later? Is it a year later? Is it a 5 year? Is it a 10-year plan? When do you desire that to show up? Okay, and this is a very important factor, right? All of existence is based on the fact that everything must have a purpose. Without a purpose, nothing can exist, hence nothing can be created. So when you define your parallel universe, you say, I desire so-and-so. Okay? Well, that will continue to remain a wish, not a desire, as long as you don't assign a purpose to it. How does this manifestation target that you desire, how does it serve you? How are you going to use this manifestation target once you've manifested? How are you going to use this to serve others? Okay, existence mandates that everything must have a purpose. So when you choose your target of manifestation, you must ask that question: what purpose does this have for me? What does it do for me, and what can I do once I have it in my life experience? What am I going to do that? How am I going to use this to help others, to serve others? Okay, whatever it is, it must have a purpose. Okay? And then we're going to architect your relationship matrix in your parallel universe. Okay, and we talked about this in some of the videos in the coaching program, in the Multiversity. Okay, your parallel universe is made up of 13 relationship categories, of which one of the relationship categories is your relationship with yourself. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through all those other 12 relationship categories. Okay, relationship does not mean people. Does not mean relationship with your significant other, or your children, or your parents, or your siblings. It's just not that. Or your friends or relatives. It's just not that. You have a relationship with intangible objects. You have a relationship with money. You have a relationship with your car, with your home. You have a relationship with your community. Okay, so all of that, anything that you interact with on a daily basis, okay, or a regular basis, is part of your life experience, and that is part of your parallel universe. And you have a relationship with these components. Okay, and in the relationship, you must have at least one partner. Okay, so how do you architect your relationship matrix in a parallel universe where you want to emigrate to a parallel universe that is filled with, love and peace, abundance, prosperity, security, health, yeah, and people are happy, not at each other's throats like we are experiencing in this parallel universe, in this physical parallel universe, right? How do you architect your relationship matrix now that you have all the works, all the tools, now that you understand the capabilities of your physical body, and you have all these tools that I would have discussed and you've learned so far? How do you use all that infrastructure to architect your relationship matrix in your parallel universe? Okay, and then we're going to talk about the process of manifesting your parallel universe. This is not a one-step process. It's a navigation path. There's a route that you need to follow. You can't say, I want 13 things in my parallel universe and I want them at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Right? As a matter of fact, you shouldn't even attempt to do something like that, because what happens then is your focus is dispersed. And you possibly cannot, and you're not designed for multi-processing like that. Okay? So you'll understand the process of manifesting your parallel universe. It is one step at a time. Achieve your first target. Once you have completed the cycle of creation, you move from reality to confidence to bliss. Engage the next object of your manifestation, and the next, and incrementally you move towards your desired parallel universe, right? So we're gonna talk about that in a lot of detail. Okay, so this will be really interesting for you, I'm sure. And of course, we're going to wrap up the session with a manifestation target checkpoint. So this will be an interactive session. We'll have Q&As going on, and any questions you have that I can answer about how far you've come in your manifestation process so far. We would have completed 3 weeks since we started by the end of this session, and you must have started your manifestation process following the instructions that I have been delivering over the last 3 weeks. So this is just a manifestation target checkpoint. Where are you, and how can I help to get to where you want to be? As usual, keep your questions ready, fire them away, and I will be able to answer them. Okay, great. So let's get on with the main body of webinar session number 3.